All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to number 5, the About Podcast. With us today is Mr. Wayne Mealhouse, the wonderfully supportive purveyor of fine distilled goods and grapery-related booze. He sells us booze.
He does.
He's the manager and co-proprietor of a wonderful little dive bar in East County called Date Oct Company. Our favorite spot to play, I think, one of them in East County especially. Definitely our favorite spot in East County. And poster child venue for Gig Town. I mean, it's awesome. You couldn't ask for more in a venue. So Wayne is with us today, chilling like a villain.
Want me to say something?
Things.
I'm just listening to all the accolades, so continue if you want.
That's where they stop.
Now's
the time to start talking.
I haven't finished your title yet. Setter out of cones.
Yes.
Provider of goodie bags.
Yes. Resident Dick.
Resident Dick. Mm-hmm.
Ass kisser.
Ass kisser. Whatever needs to happen. Local drunk.
Local drunk. I don't know. So he travels with it though.
Oh, that's true. It's not confined to Doro.
Yeah.
I stay within the county
drunk.
though. County.
Okay.
For the most part.
There we go.
And we're your hosts. My name is Joshua Taylor.
I'm Sandi King.
Davy Rocket.
Boom. Admin out of the way. Let's get wasted.
Hi, Wayne.
You look very good through the screen.
Thank you. Yes. You've got the
That's
fancy
right. Yeah,
microphone.
it should be noted that we do have Wayne behind a full body screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's mostly for us. So
in
we
riot
don't have
gear.
to look at him.
Yeah.
I do spit a lot, so therefore it's not necessarily a screen for sound. It's a screen for projectiles.
I'm just noticing that particularly tonight you always do, but you've got a little extra husk on, so you've got a great voice for radio tonight.
I've had that cold for like 2 weeks.
It's awesome.
And it ends up, make me sound like a damn frog. So, enjoy the deep frog.
Well, we love your cold.
Yes.
Until it gets played over the airwaves and they get worried.
That's going to be rad.
So, Wayne,
Yes,
you own a bar.
I do.
That's a cool story.
We're getting deep.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
it
are.
is.
I know.
It is. Yes, and it's in the beautiful Spring Valley of all
It is
places.
beautiful Spring Valley.
Yes, it's known for its bars and its lovely nature and vacation destinations.
Well, it should be noted that a lot of Gig Town artists play there. A lot of local.
Oh,
you
yeah.
support a lot of local music on that tiny stage.
We do.
And what started you out on the idea of wanting to own a bar? And first of all, why Spring Valley? Why were you so adamant about having live music? And what was that whole story?
Well, that was the closest bar to my house when I purchased it 5 years ago.
Nice.
That's a good
Therefore, I could walk
requirement.
there and back if needed, and we
Okay.
did many times. And the first time I was in that bar and met the owner, I offered her a certain amount of money to buy the bar, which I'm sure they never hear at a bar like that. So it took her 4 years to finally say yes. And then it took us about 6 months to finally close escrow and do all the rest of the stuff. So after that, she took over the bar and went through a massive cleaning and tearing out of all the sticky carpet and garbage and storage and everything else. There was a stage that was used for storage, and it actually was bigger than what it looked like with all the crap on it. So then it took us another 6 months to get our entertainment license, and then I think November 14th was our first show, but I forget. Was it
2015?
Yeah.
Was it? I
Really?
think it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
So not even- You've been doing shows for a year?
Nick, yeah, I've been doing shows for a year in November, yeah.
Wow.
I think it was Nick Crook was the first show. I think that was the first one.
Hey, so it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 and the other. Got a G, got a beat, I'm rolling up another. Could have been your lover, but then you went undercover, and I had to discover that you got another man at home. You got another man, a baby at home. It ain't just like we planned, 'cause I'm alone. And baby, just so you know, when you put me out in the cold.
Yeah, it was every week, Friday, Saturday after that, and then started the Mondays, and then now we're doing a lot of Thursdays and doubling up on Saturdays, and
Doubling up on Mondays too, right?
Oh, on
Isn't
Mondays too,
There's
yeah.
like an
Yeah.
acoustic
Yeah.
opener. Yeah.
Yep, sometimes. It just all depends on who's traveling and who's available and who wants to play
Yeah.
for...
I'm sorry. I'm going to step on you because I felt like saying what I wanted to say. So fuck you, Davy.
No, I was actually going to say, Josh, do you have anything to say or ask?
My dream is for your guys' show to become syndicated in all the households of families across
All
the world,
fucking
and
households and all the
I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think
Whoa.
that syndication
Whoa,
of all
Wayne comes
this,
out swinging.
all these mean words, all
He
these.
doesn't even
Okay,
want to be here.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
welcome
forced.
to our home.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it should be noted that De Oro is like, it's an anomaly. It's like, so for those of you not from the area, East County, San Diego is like, there's just tons and tons and tons of little hole-in-the-wall bars. It's like the home of the local bar, and there's like a big top 40 scene out there in terms of music. The folks that you run into in East County are, if you're from the Midwest, they're a lot more like Midwesterners and Southerners than they are like most Southern Californians. It's not to say that they're not Southern Californians, but it's the closest thing, that the culture is a bit more that vibe. You're likely to find like a biker bar and that kind of stuff in this area. And De Oro is like a fucking, it's like the Twilight Zone. You walk in there and you're like, okay, I'm in an East County dive. And then but as a musician, you show up and there's a cone in a spot for you, and the stage is like clean and ready to go, and there's a professional sound system in there, and the bar staff is friendly. The whole bar is really clean. It's fun. You walk in, it's got a dive feel, but not because it's dingy or dirty. There's like handcrafted wood benches and stuff. Did Guillermo do most of that stuff? All of it?
He did all of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The whole bar. That's just, it's like
we have to keep it to the neighborhood. We can't price ourselves out of the neighborhood.
Right.
So therefore, we left a lot of the wood paneling. We painted half of it black to make it, look fancy. It's not, but paint's cheap. And, obviously cleaned it up a lot and made the pool tables nice and added TVs that weren't tube TVs. So that was one of the pluses.
Nice.
It's exactly what you want in a dive.
We brought it to the year
Yeah.
2008, I think is when we
Yeah.
brought it up to.
That's awesome.
We're catching up.
That's awesome.
It's rad. I really love it there.
I want to know how you got to be the way you are, because it's so it's such an easy thing, but it's so unusual to be treated so well as a performer. When you hire an act, again, there's parking ready to go for you right outside, easy load in. You're good. You come inside. There's a gift bag with your drink tickets and cough drops and all kinds of other thoughtful shit. Which is, I mean, as a performer,
Sometimes people get whiskey.
Sometimes people get whiskey. But
Some more than others.
it's crazy that that's so unusual to be treated so well, because it doesn't take a whole lot of thought to take care of your performers, but somehow that seems to be a priority for you. Where did that come from? Are you a musician? Do you have family members that were musicians?
No, it's obvious. I mean, it's a normal. Who would come to a shithole in Spring Valley and play music when they could get a gig in SDSU part of town and OB part of town or wherever else there may be? So we had to entice those folks. What an
interesting way to go about doing
come
that.
out to our
It's
shithole,
perfect.
and so we had to give you to that extra. Go to that. Not only were we offering money,
Right.
we had to go that extra effort to show the appreciation of the customers, because the clientele that are there, it took them a little while to warm up to different styles of music. They're used to hearing the hits of East County, which the
Right.
Johnny Cashes, the
Right,
Leonard
right.
Skinnards, the normal
Classic
stuff
rock,
that
top
they're going to
40.
be hearing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you mentioned before, but. Now they can actually hear different styles, and we've had bands that have played in the beginning of we're in November, and then we've had them come back within the last few months, and the response is huge. They're like standing up. This is one of the best bands I heard. I go, you told me this band sucked 6 months ago. So I don't remember seeing them. I said, yeah, well,
Right.
you're finally learning.
Well,
and
you're inspiring better performances too,
Yeah.
which is
I
something
demand
that a
it.
lot of people
I demand it, not inspire.
With your booze.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
The more he boos, the more he likes you.
Right. Oh, your booze and your
And your
booze.
booze.
Yes.
Right. I get it.
It's cool to me too, because as I think about it, because we go there a lot even when we don't have shows. We probably have been there as many times not playing as we have been playing.
You might be the number one patrons in the music or the entertainment world. We call it San Diego Entertainment
That's
World,
awesome.
which is
It's a
cool.
great spot. Well, and the thing that comes to mind when I think about being at De Oro is that like it's another thing that to me is anomalous about it is there's not one type of person there. There's like it's multicultural, multi-ethnic,
Income levels.
multi-income levels. Yeah, people will come there and what's funny too is like you can come there and get a glass of wine and not get a sideways look. But there's a lot of people just drinking whiskey on the rocks and Bud Light and
And
stuff.
it's inexpensive too. I mean, we
And
don't
it's
have
inexpensive,
we don't have a double-digit drink.
Right.
We will once those little guys get on the menu. But we don't have a double-digit drink on the menu yet, so you can get some of the high-end stuff that costs you $15, $16
And also-
elsewhere, so it makes it affordable. And
Yeah, Wayne, you don't have to look right at me every time you say little guy.
I'm waiting for you to. I'm waiting. You know what? I'm also looking at you to see what kind of notes you're writing down. 'Cause you guys really prep.
It's
I've
mostly
seen,
notes
Sorry,
for
here.
each other.
I see it's a
I'll
blank
take a note
blank
right-
pieces
I'll
of
take a
paper
note.
that everyone seems to be looking at. So
Davy
I'm
just
going to take a note right now, and we'll post it on the site.
take a picture of Davy's note. It's very important.
it's gonna be a penis probably.
It
is
looks
probably.
Yeah.
like he's writing down "I hate Wayne" over and over again.
You know, he's doing it in a
But with a picture.
picture. Yeah.
It's very interesting. What is this? This is like
Oh, that's
abstract. Oh,
It always
right.
makes for interesting radio when you're actually drawing something
Oh,
on a
that
piece of
is-
paper.
that is-
the,
that is a-
the visual effects
that is
on radio
good.
is awesome. It's just perfect.
We'll definitely be posting this on the website, so you guys can guess. You guys can guess what Davy drew, and then we'll see how close you were.
And then we can all be really impressed by the understated reaction to this drawing when you guys see what the drawing actually was.
Yeah, that's gonna be fantastic.
Good.
It makes
Good
for
one.
terrible radio,
Yeah.
but
That might-
fantastic
that might
interneting.
That might
Oh, that's
explain the people just crashing your servers every time you release your podcast.
So
like
many
it.
listeners.
It's
so
very
many.
good. It's subtle. I like what you've done with the place.
That's nice.
And then the other thing I was going to say too about it is, okay, so you've got a multi, let's just say multi-dimensional,
Very diverse.
very
It's
diverse,
diverse in
every way.
Yeah, in every way.
Same with the music too. Like you'll I mean, there's like Americana, there's solo acoustic, there's blues, there's soul. We've seen some killer soul
there's
and funk there.
Spoken word.
Yeah, it's
We had that
awesome.
opera guy, Bernardo, that one time. Remember?
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Was that a friend of Brian's?
Yeah.
It's the
Right.
yeah.
Roman?
Sure.
Roman. You talking about Roman?
No, I think it was Bernardo.
Oh, then I don't know him.
You were there. You guys were there that night. Unless you guys left.
We might
That
have
night
known.
when Brian was on stage
Yeah.
at the keyboard, Andy was there. They went up and it was Walt Hamburger, I think.
Yeah, we were
yeah.
there.
The very end of the night, the last three songs, I think, or maybe the second to last set, was Bernardo singing opera, and he cleared the whole bar. Everyone was coming over going, what the heck's going on?
Wow.
The guy on stage singing opera, and Brian was playing keyboard.
That's rad.
I gave him a boo, too. So
That's
You gotta
well,
spread the
yeah,
well
no,
placed boo.
There are a few other venues that push their style of music and what they like. I mean, luckily my style is very, very broad, so it's not that hard to push down my style of music. It's it's what everyone else likes. But I've obviously been to enough concerts, been to many, many bars in my life, and been to many shows in bars, much like our bar, as well as larger ones. So, what? I'm not a big fan. Let's play the dance hits. People ask me, well, this band has everyone on the dance floor. Look at them, they're dancing. I go, there's not a single drink in their hands.
Yeah.
You don't see them drinking. Our best nights, for the most part, and I'd say I'm correct 90% of the time, at least on this part, is that when it's an excellent band that's playing good quality music, everything's arranged perfectly, and people are sitting there drinking and enjoying the show. They're not up there,
Yeah.
boogieing, and that seems to be the best nights in sales. But of course, you have to play the Silverhead Foxes and play the hits every once in a while, and then you got to throw those guys in, and then you got to throw in the dance cover beats, and you got to throw in.
No,
the
it's
good stuff,
amazing
so
though
you
that
have
you're
to
not.
kinda go.
Yeah, your approach is not resigned to, well, I have an East County bar,
Right.
so these are the
Yeah.
bands I can book. It's really awesome to not let yourself be limited by that.
That's cool.
It's also cool
I know.
to be to be cultivating that like people will come to your bar because they know that there's music.
Exactly.
And they don't know they know that there's all different styles that play there, and say they have their favorite band that's going to be there on whatever night of the week, but they also know that you have music a bunch of other nights. And so when they think about going out on a Monday night, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, they have music at Oro and I usually like it. I'm just going to go." That's like a huge step. Huge.
And so that's another thing too that sets the bar apart, is that everybody knows, at least all the guys that we know like to play Doro. And that kind of thing, if you are a booker or an owner of a venue and by some weird twist of fate you happen to be listening to our little podcast, that goes along. Musicians do talk. we do know where the good places are to play and where you don't want to play. We do know who's late on payment and who stiffs you on the tab. We do know all of those things, and we tell everyone. And so when you're a place like De Oro, that gets around and everyone wants to play there. And it builds a family. There's this community with the regulars. We know we know all the regulars.
All the bartenders.
We know all the bartenders.
It's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a family. It's like playing for family in your living room every time we go.
Except you can't sleep there.
Except you can't sleep there.
I wouldn't dare let you guys sleep alone in the bar for the 4 hours we're closed, or the 6 hours we're closed and the cleaning lady comes in. I wouldn't allow that. That'd be bad news.
But anything short of that
Right.
is allowed, right?
And again, can you guys please stop looking at me when you say short? Thanks. No, I feel we should say as well, since you said that we are some of the most common patrons there. Wayne is the most common. I've never seen a venue owner at so many shows that I've been at.
I don't trust anyone
not
else
in your bar.
the staff or
No, I
anyone else
fucking love
to
it.
handle the.
It's
Could have
great.
just said because you like the music. That's
I
why
do,
you're
but I
there.
can only hear
But-
King Taylor Project so many times in my life. I mean, I can't do it anymore.
No, but I love it. In and around town, and this guy also. Sorry, not to do you too many sexual favors here.
I know I'm getting a little tired. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
I'm getting old now. I'm getting old.
No, it's awesome to see so much excitement. I'll see you around town seeing some band that I'm also there to see, and you'll be so
Yeah.
excited. I've got these guys next week.
Yeah.
It's such an awesome attitude
Yeah, it is.
coming from such an asshole.
Yeah, such a asshole.
Well, I want to go there. I mean,
Makes it
some
mean
bands, their media and online presence is so dang horrible. Even though you hear like one good song that's stuck in your head and you can't let it go, so you have to go see them live to see if they're really good or really, not good or good enough. Or
Yeah.
last weekend was Luneau was there, and they played probably our first month with their first new, with their current band minus Melissa. She was doing Nutcracker.
You will live for this moment. This moment is your life. You will live for this moment. This moment is your life. You will live for this.
So I told them when that was their first show, they had no songs, no practice. They were just like jamming the whole time.
Damn.
And we gave him enough to drink that he told me that afterwards. He goes, dude, this was our first show as a new band. And we had no idea what we were doing. We were just playing songs and played tracks and jamming. And
Rad.
the customers didn't like them because they were too loud, but it was also it was too new of a music for their
Yeah.
style. So they came back finally this weekend, and it was completely different. It was, it had the same sort of style of music.
Yeah.
But with the violin, with it was a prettier girl up front than just those three guys, and the people were just like, "This is incredible," and they're watching it. And then we had Grim Slippers play the following Saturday.
Is this a dream? Is this real? Come on, show me how to feel. Is this a dream? Is this real? I see you, but you're not real. Trying to get out of this place, find my way out of here. It's so dark I can see the way out. Trying to hear your voice, reach out to touch you, but empty space is.
And they're the ones that they had said they had like 17 songs now, but they played a lot of songs over and over. But the last 4 or 5 songs, one of the East County ladies decided to tell them all to take their shirts off instead of just a drummer. So we had 3 guys on stage playing shirtless, and they had fun. They were they were having a good time. So it was fun. They keep wanting to come back. So as long as the bands want to come back, I know our crowd, and we're doing a decent enough job, and we're staying within the proper pay scale. I mean, our bar can't pay a lot because we're not an expensive bar,
Right.
But we can pay, and hopefully enough to keep everyone come back. And we've been raising the price up a little bit, $50 here and there, but it hasn't been, it's not going to pay the mortgage for the month. So it's gonna, but it will definitely get you guys out there, hopefully again, and or most bands. So
Yeah.
there's a few on our bucket list that I know that are going to be tough to get, but I'm keeping my lips chapped. And I am ready and waiting for that opportunity.
Oh yeah, like who? I know the answers, but I
Oh, there's three of them.
think I know two of them.
You know Hiller's band.
Yeah.
Told you that. And but we're already in the works for there.
You can say
Ryan
it.
Hiller,
That's
yeah.
Ryan Hiller.
Broken stems.
Yeah, you can say Ryan Hiller one time. You just can't say it 3 times in a row.
Yeah. Or else.
Because then we'll have to feed him.
Yeah.
To give them
Just appear.
Yeah, just buy a few beers next time.
Feeling quite alive for the first time. Every second goes by, you think you're gonna die. Well, there ain't no time to cry. Only time to try and realize that you gotta survive. And that you gotta survive.
Broken Stems. Broken Stems. That's my other bucket list. And there's a third one that I think I have purged. Oh, Tolan Shaw. I
Tolan,
told you
yeah.
Tolan, yeah.
Oh,
his
nice.
band.
We just
We
saw
just saw
Tom.
him.
We just saw him. He
opened
up
for Delta Ray.
I've got 2 feet walking in a straight line, 2 eyes focused on the deadline, 2 hands ready to change the world, change the world. 2 feet walking in a straight line, 2 eyes focused on the deadline, 2 hands ready to change the world, change the world.
Yeah, that's why he seems to be going in the direction of further away from being able
Yeah.
to capture him at our bar. we turned it. We had an all Spanish band on Thursday. I forget their names. That was something something.
It had an enye in it.
It did have an NA, and they both ended when like in dos os, and they were great. They were country pop in Spanish, and then but they were not. They were like younger kids, so it was our first time seeing
That's cool.
somebody take an hour to set up for a 45-minute set. It was like one of those kind of nights. The band started like almost 10:30 and then played till like 11:15, and oh Jesus Christ. It was a lot of check, si, uno, dos, tres, and it was fun. It was a good band.
Which
That's awesome.
which ties in really well with if those of you will remember, we have a good discussion about that with Kelsey. So go back to episode 2 if you want to have a good laugh about that.
I just realized something musically here. I realized that Spanish speakers, when they're checking their mics, have a like rhythmic subdivision advantage that we don't have. The way that Wayne was just doing that, it was already musical. Check, check, uno, uno, dos, dos. We just have 1, 1, 2. More syllables, English language. Come on, get with the
Get
fucking program.
With it. So now that
More
we're
enye's.
mentioning bands and stuff, what are some of your favorite performances and perhaps least favorite, if you're comfortable, or like annoying things that happen or people that you really
Well, being that I know your
Enjoy.
listener base, I don't really have any problem whatsoever throwing names out. I mean, I know this will be going under the radar for many
don't
years
mention-
before it even
Just don't mention any of those
Or
three
I could use
people.
Davy's approach and actually like write names down here or put pictures of the bands that I'm talking about. Favorite bands for me or for the actual bar? I'm like, I don't know.
However.
I mean, like one of our busiest nights was like an 80s cover band, and that's one of my most embarrassing moments because it goes against the whole grain of me not booking the cover bands.
Yeah.
And I had to
But
book
it's
this
80s.
band.
Oh my God, 80s.
Yeah, it was, and they were from the 80s too. That's the problem. It wasn't like we were getting, what we remember in the 80s. We were getting our parents from the 80s. It was,
Nice.
and then, but then the weekend after, we had Lafayette Falkway, the blues, 70-year-old blues man, and he brought in a couple of ringers. One of them being Frankie T, who we booked, who was just a all crazy guy on the guitar. I left though. 'Cause I went to go to see another show. That's probably the reason why I was so busy, because I wasn't there.
That'll do it.
I left after their first set, but I saw the video afterwards, and it was pretty good. And that was one of our better nights because it was. I mean, they brought in everyone.
We just had Andy over on our last podcast, Andy Altman. So which makes me I mean, you guys are all about Gig Town. What is it? So as someone who books live music and has a bar that you're getting bands through, how is Gig Town for you? What's it like booking through Gig Town?
I mean, you always kiss the ass of the higher entity. There's no reason not to do that in any business, unless there's some completely opposite morals, which we're both about music, so there's no reason to. When I first met them, I met them, or I really didn't meet them. I saw the website Gig Town at Kaboo. And what the heck is this? But you walk in the front door and you get like 8 beanbags and koozies thrown at you. So I had some of that stuff by the time I got home.
And they're kind of hard to miss and bright
orange,
fucking orange.
Cheese Whiz, their Cheese Whiz logo. Yeah. But so when we started getting an entertainment license, I was kind of like searching and going, how do I saw like their Gig Masters or whatever it was, and I go, this is stupid. This is hard. I gotta like send hi guys, I'm Wayne. Do you want to play at our? It was dumb. So I saw Gig Town in one of the searches. I go, oh, I know these guys. I clicked on them, and then immediately I called, talked to Brian. He came down with a couple of days and looked at our venue, and he actually really liked it. But him being from the punk world, I can see why he likes those kind of likes those kind of venues. They're very friendly, and so we hit it off and we talked, and I bounced a ton of stuff off of Brian in the beginning, just because he obviously is in the industry, and he gave me a lot of advice and helped me even set up part of the PA. When I sent it over to the guys who installed it, he told me what I needed. They built my advance sheet and sort of blessed me in that way, and then helped me out with some of the bands. And before, it was really hard to submit offers. I'd like email them and tell them, hey, this is what I want to play. Can you do it? And it wasn't something I could do in the beginning, but it was I could hear a sample in many times to say, hey, I booked a band while going to the bathroom. And it's just that easy to book a band. And it became, I'm an IT guy. Why would I not choose the easiest route?
Right, exactly. And that's awesome for somebody who's a bar owner and has no time. You're still able to put together a solid calendar of musicians.
So you mentioned you are an IT guy as well.
And that's what I've been for since '98.
Yeah.
Hence the drinking habit, hence the gray hair that's coming, prior to me turning 40.
Say, how do you have time to do all
Hence he'll take care of the promotional materials for you if you aren't going to create it yourself, but it's going to be the kind of thing that you don't want your wife to
forgot about that one.
See over your shoulder.
Yeah, some of the Google searches I had to find some of those photos really concerned me in case the FBI came and confiscated my phone. What's this guy looking at?
Such as?
The Kevin.
Go on. Yeah. What were they?
I had to search for gay clowns because that's what I figured that's the whole picture I wanted.
Okay. So first of all, I do feel like
you fall into that category.
Define have to.
Yeah.
You had to search for gay clowns?
Well, if I'm making my own promotional material, I could search for a clown and get a bunch of like professional-looking clowns in Google Images. Mm-hmm. You search for a gay clown, you should be able to find within the first 3 images something that would be a good backdrop for a Kevin Began live at 6 o'clock.
What's Wayne
the poster?
Okay, what Wayne means to say is that during a routine gay clowns Google search on a Thursday,
I happen to find
the idea
picture.
Struck him. Oh shit, Kevin Began's got to be playing here. I should use one of these.
2 for 1 special. This is awesome.
You just have to find one with a spot that's not completely occupied by clown dick, where you can just
I had to find a picture without my face already in it.
Wayne won the podcast. There it is.
Well, this has been our 5th podcast with Wayne Mealhouse. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Wayne.
You're welcome.
You suck.
Peace.
I agree.
Peace be with you.
And also with you.
Not with you. Music in this episode is brought to you by Ryan Hiller,
Broken Stems,
Tolan Shaw,
Nick Crook,
Grim Slippers,
and Luno.
You search for a gay clown, you should be able to find within the first 3 images something that would be a good backdrop for a Kevin Began live at 6 o'clock.